Welcome to Split Screen. I'll be your host, Dom Hassett, and today we're discussing local multiplayer. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Curtis Minks.
I'm Taylor Bay.
I'm Will Siebel.
All right, so guys, what was the last multiplayer experience on either PlayStation or Xbox that you remember playing that did not require an internet connection?
I would say for me it would have been like the Halos, like Halo 3, Halo Reach, one of those two. Used to do like LAN parties with them all the time because you can like 16 people in a game or whatever.
So how long ago was the last time you did that?
My freshman year of high school, so
Yeah.
8 years ago.
You're old, Curtis.
Yeah.
We all. For me, it was probably I played Madden at a friend's house the other day, and that was multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, yeah, probably like Halo.
Yeah.
Playing Halo back in high school, we had 2 Xboxes, I think, and we did like a LAN, and we hooked it up on a projector. But otherwise, I can't really remember anything.
Yeah. I never owned a PlayStation or Xbox, and so the most recent one I did was like at a LAN. I played on my bud Roberto's Xbox. It was like Halo 2 on top of a mini fridge because there wasn't enough table space. But it's just like spontaneous stuff.
Yeah, so all these games, they're like relatively old.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since you didn't
Like
need an
10
internet
plus
connection to
years.
play multiplayer with other people, right? Well, unless you're talking Nintendo, of course. Nintendo, yes.
But that's where it's at.
That's where it's at. That's honestly, that's where the local multiplayer scene is really going now. That's where it is.
Yeah.
Because you can't play an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 game multiplayer without an internet connection, and even
Can
then,
you actually not?
well, I guess there's very few games where you can do that anymore. Just play with whoever's in the room with you.
I did. Sports Friends. Sports Friends has Super Berry Ball and Pole Riders.
See, but games like that.
Yeah.
Are
They're like
ones-
stupid little ones.
Yeah.
When the Xbox was first coming out, they were promoting that you have to have an internet connection to actually even
Really?
use the Xbox.
It could
They
only
changed that
turn on
quickly
if.
because they had bad.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
just not everyone
right,
has
yeah.
internet. Like,
So
it's a common day, but
Yeah.
yeah. So why the lack of local multiplayer support on these consoles? You can't just sit down with your friends on your PS4 or your Xbox One and play a game with them anymore. You have to go online. You have to do all this. So why the change? Why that happen?
I think they want to push more consoles because nowadays, you can do like LAN with some games, but everyone's gotta have a console.
yeah.
Everyone's gotta have a PS4.
Like we've done on the show, like last season, we tried to get what was it?
Go watch our episodes.
What was that game? It's like the new Bungie game that came out.
Destiny?
Destiny. Yeah, we tried to do a Destiny where we had multiple people all playing together, but we had to get.
You need multiple consoles to do that.
We had to get like 4 consoles, and we had to get internet
Yeah.
connection out here.
I hear
And-
what you're saying,
and-
though.
Pain to do it.
You know?
Well, you have Bungie, the people who did Halo, and that was huge for multiplayer. Yet now they come out with this, and you can't do
It's
like
a
a split
departure.
screen deathmatch with your friend on this game. That would be totally awesome to do that in.
Yeah. Well, even now, like, they have these high-resolution big TVs. Before, it was like a little CRT. You have 4 people on there. You have to, like, cram your heads in and get real close. And, like, screen cheating is, like, you know, put a sheet up, put up cardboard slats.
I would say the only other thing that like uses local multiplayer would be like Screen Cheat. That
Exactly.
it's a computer game.
Yeah.
So computer games,
PC.
PC and Nintendo are the only really things left for local.
Yeah.
Playing it now.
You wouldn't expect that from PC.
No, like that's like going away from what PC is, which is online.
Like your
It's
throne.
interesting how consoles around PlayStation, around N64 time really started doing really big local multiplayer and play with your friends type of games, and then the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, GameCube, like really sold tons of games because you could sit down with a bunch of your friends and play them.
GameCube.
And then PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 had a little bit of that. And it had quite a few games like that in the beginning, but then as soon as the whole online aspect of games started to come out, that just got thrown right out. And it's like, now you have to have an internet connection to do this. And what's more is nowadays you have to pay for the internet connection in order to play online at all.
I think something that has come to is, back in the day, internet was like such a novelty to be able to play games like with people that aren't in the room with you. And so it's like, oh, this is so
And it was
cool.
great.
My friend in Singapore, but now, like, we yearn for it.
Now, yeah,
the
now
people
that's all
that
you
grew
can
up
do.
with it.
It's a normal thing for people that
Yeah.
like, grew up with it.
Mm-hmm.
For like us, like I started out with a Super Nintendo. So
Game Boy Color, man, that's where it's at.
no, man, Super Nintendo. That Duck Hunt.
Now, so since there's with esports and everything and all these games where you get like Call of Duty tournaments and things like that, how there's like hardcore gamers going into multiplayer settings, do you think that in an effort to get more hardcore players and weed out casual players, do you think that may be a reason why there's not a lot of local multiplayer on those games? Because it seems that local multiplayer sort of is like practice for hardcore gamers, or it just doesn't get them going, I guess, really, because I see a lot of local multiplayer as casual gaming experiences. So do you think that might be trying to cater to the hardcore players by
I don't know.
by doing that? I think it's sort of it's counterintuitive, because you're giving the hardcore gamers what they want, but you're disillusioning the casual gamers because they want to just play with their friends.
That the one thing I would argue about that with would be Smash Bros.
Yeah.
There's a huge
Yes.
competitive thing with Smash Bros.
Yeah.
And Melee is 12 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
And
But
it's still in
the
tournaments.
number one.
Super
you know?
competitive, but that's
Yes.
only local multiplayer.
Yeah, you can't do it online. You can do newer ones online, and people
can,
do.
Can you play
yes.
the new,
Yeah, Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. It's pretty good, actually.
Is it?
It's pretty good. But it's not local, you know?
Yeah, but it still has the local.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But that's Nintendo. Nintendo's amazing.
That's why I really like what Nintendo's doing, is they're giving you the online experience while not taking away the local experience, which I feel the PlayStation and Xbox are doing that.
They really kind of have that market cornered, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are trying to compete with PCs for the more hardcore gaming experience with all the graphics, and that's a different discussion of like, graphics are important. But Nintendo's just kind of doing their own stuff.
Yeah, it has its like
You know?
little. It has its like niche. It has its like
Yeah.
it's like little cartoony.
It is widening though.
Yeah.
You know, upcoming Splatoon is, it's a shooter where you're a squid and you shoot ink or paint, and you can go into the paint as a squid, and it's local, it's online, and so they're trying to broaden their things, but overall it's still like cute and nice and in local multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. So there's some people who maybe don't care too much about local multiplayer. They're playing their PlayStations and their Xboxes, and they say, well, I can get that experience by just pass and play. You just play a couple rounds of something, you pass it to your friend, they play, you laugh at them if they die, and then that
Go get
goes
a
around
pizza.
and around in the circle like that. It's like, that's good enough for some people, but
It's not the same.
it is not the same.
Because one person has to sit there and kind of be bored while the other one sits
Yeah.
and plays.
Yeah.
You don't get to interact
Local
in game.
multiplayer, You get to are fighting each other. You're competing in that exact moment.
Yeah, and my whole deal with the pass and play thing, it's like so many games on, PlayStation and Xbox are so single player campaign driven, and you're making profiles, you're making basically identities for yourself. And so just having your friends mess around with that, personally, I don't like the thought of handing off my profile to someone else to mess around with.
It's like, oh yeah, here's all my hard
Yeah,
work and
because there's all these
achievements.
games.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, my KD ratio.
Yeah. But that's why I think the local stuff is good, because you can go into that and maybe mess around and who cares, just have fun.
Yeah.
And that keeps it separate from your single player stats and everything.
Yeah.
That's why games like way back Resistance, you could do local multiplayer and have a lot of fun, but it didn't impact your online ranking or your single player stuff at all.
That's how I think Halo 3 did that too. They had the online ranking system, but you also could level up just multiplayer. Just anytime you played, you leveled up. But they didn't do the pass and play.
Related to the pass and play thing, and something I wanted to bring up is, that's kind of how tabletop games work. You take your turn, the next person takes your turn, but you're still there and you're still watching because they're interrelated. It's the same session. And that's kind of the dichotomy it's come to, where games are coming to more single player or hot seat gaming, another past play term. And
So does the fate of console multiplayer rest in Nintendo's hands? do you think that there's any chance, have you heard any sort of inklings of it all coming back to PlayStation or Xbox?
Well,
is there any hope?
There might be. There's like new Halo. Bungie's not doing it, but
oh yeah,
new Halo coming out.
Really?
So they could still have the same thing, because I'm pretty sure Halo 4 still had local multiplayer.
I don't know if it did. Didn't play that one.
It was there, but I'm pretty sure it still happened. But Halo 5, or I think it's what it's called, Halo 5.
The next Halo.
The next Halo. That's what I have hope for. So I hope that they'll branch in, still have that local.
If any game's gonna keep it, it's got to be Halo.
Yeah,
that's what it started as.
Yeah,
what made me love it.
So, other than Nintendo, which is clearly excelling in this area, PC is where you want to go nowadays for your local multiplayer experiences.
Yeah.
It's actually really solid.
It has everything. It has the hot seat, because like Civ 5, there's literally a mode called hot seat where you take turns sitting in the exact same spot.
Is it good? Have you played it?
No, I played. It's really fun. Actually, you have other computers doing stuff, and you're just like, oh, it's your turn. You just get up,
or just have a few games going at once so you can swap around.
Yeah, it's really fun actually. And then, like you have like the first person or the local multiplayer. Like PC has almost anything you want to play. So it kind of has the overall. It's like here's like the king, and then everything else.
All right. So local multiplayer may be dying as far as your Xbox and PlayStation goes, but if you want the experiences, Nintendo and PC is where you want to head to.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah.
Great convo.
Now for a special report about the LAN that happened a few weeks back.
My name's Ken Wallace. I am a computer science major here at OSU, a senior, and I am the president of the gaming club.
So tell us a little bit about the LAN event.
Sure. So this is a 200 to 300 person LAN where we come in and play PC games, tabletop games, console games, get together and play games together as a whole rather than split up and do nothing. We also have a bunch of prizing we're handing out, Pepsi sponsorship, all kinds of fun stuff planned.
And how often do you guys do events like this?
Yeah, sure. So this is our big event of the year. So once a year we do this big MU Ballroom, 200 to 300 person LAN. We also have 100 to 150 person LAN once a term at least, and then smaller events throughout the year as well.
What is your favorite thing to do at the LAN?
I really like just walking around talking to people for the most part. I'm not a big into gaming at the LAN because I'm running the event. I just kind of want to make sure everyone else is having fun and I'm meeting new people and seeing how they're doing.
What do you think of all the competitive events like the League tournament and the Smash tournament? What is your opinion on those?
So back in the day when we used those events, the competition was kind of at the LAN and kind of for fun. So people would just play at the LAN with people that are at the LAN. With the competition, it brings a lot of people in and a lot of generation, but usually for only 1 or 2 days, not the entire event, because people just want to come in, play the tournament, and leave because people are serious about these things. Video games are not fun.
What's your name and your major?
Colin Camard, Electrical and Computer Engineering.
And what have you been doing here at the LAN this weekend?
I've mostly been just playing games with my friends. We played a bunch of Gang Beasts, which is a drunk fighting game. I also played a lot of Dota 2. There's quite a few people that play Dota 2 here. And just general multiplayer games that my friends play.
How long have you been here? Have you been here since Friday, or did you come later?
Yeah, I've been here since Friday, like when they opened the doors. I obviously didn't stay here the whole time. I went to sleep, but yeah.
Have you either watched or competed in any of the tournaments or anything that they had this weekend?
No, I'm not much of a competitive gamer. I mostly just come here to play with friends, in person, where normally I'm just playing with them over the internet, so it's fun.
Our new treasurer, because our awesome treasurer is leaving at the end of this term.